Hi guys, I'm the Iron Pig and welcome to the channel. So on the channel, what I'll mostly be doing is talking about different sports, probably mostly football and hockey as well as a little baseball, maybe a little bit of basketball, but I don't really follow that as much, so probably mostly football and hockey and a little bit of baseball. So for football, I'm probably going to make most of the videos about the entire NFL rather than one specific team, whereas in hockey, I'm a really big Rangers fan, and I think I'm going to make a lot of videos on the Rangers specifically, maybe a little about the NHL as a whole as well, but more of the Rangers for hockey and probably just more of the NFL as a whole for football. And for baseball, while I am a pretty big Mets fan, I'd probably speak mostly about the entire MLB rather than the Mets by themselves. But anyway, today's video is predicting the NFL season 2022 to 23. So basically, I'm gonna predict each game for the season, then the playoffs, and eventually a Super Bowl winner. Um, and because there's so many games, I'm not really gonna go into too much depth about each one. Otherwise, that would take a really long time. But I'm gonna predict each game. And with that, let's start the video. Okay, let's start week one. Colts Texans first game. I think the Colts will win this. They're obviously much better than the Texans. Texans just aren't good at all. Bengals Steelers. Like the Bengals offense. Steelers defense isn't as great as it used to be. Bengals. Ravens Jets. Zach Wilson might play, might not. I don't think it really matters. Ravens coming back healthy. They're a better team. They should win this. Dolphins Patriots. This should be a close one, but I like Tyreek Hill for the Dolphins. He should be a big pickup. I think he helps them win this game. Chargers Raiders. I like both their offenses, but I like the Chargers defense much better. I think that helps them win this one. Uh, Bills Rams kickoff game. This is gonna be a good game. Defending Super Bowl champion against what I think is the best team in the league, but I think the Bills, they're just so great on offense and defense. Rams are good too, but I think the Bills are better. And their offense and defense both play really well. Jaguars, Commanders. I like the Jaguars team. I like their rushing duo with Etienne and Robinson. I think Trevor Lawrence should have a much better year this year. No Chase Young for the Commanders. I think Jacksonville wins this. Baker Mayfield against his old team, the Browns. I think Panthers win this. I don't like the Browns QB situation with Brissett. Um, Chiefs Cardinals. I think the Chiefs. Both teams have good offenses, not great defenses. Chiefs have the better QB though. Mahomes. He helps them win. Titans Giants. I think Derrick Henry has a big game. Titans win. Broncos, Russell Wilson against his old team, the Seahawks. Geno Smith playing for Seattle. I think it should be Locke. I think Locke's better. He has more talent. He needs a fresh start in Seattle, but he's not playing. I don't think it would matter anyway. Wilson gets a win against his old team. Niners, Bears. I don't like the Bears' offense at all. The Niners have a great defense. No offensive line for the Bears. Niners crush them. Eagles, Lions. I'm going to pick an upset here. I'm going to pick the Lions. I think Jared Goff, he plays pretty well. Eagles maybe not expecting it. Lions win this. No upset here, though. Saints should win this. Their defense plays well against the Falcons. Their offense scores all over them. Falcons aren't good on either side of the ball. Packers, Vikings. I'm going to take the Vikings here. I like their offense, at least for right now, a little bit better than the Packers, just because their receiving core isn't that great, especially in week one. I don't think it's going to play well. The Vikings defense is also not bad. It's okay. The Vikings offense plays pretty well. Last game, Buccaneers Cowboys. Tom Brady's back for the Bucks. Cowboys lost some players. Bucks win on Sunday Night Football. Okay, so let's move on to week two now. Um, First game, Chargers Chiefs in Kansas City. I'm gonna take the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert. Defense is good too. I think it stops the Chiefs. Next game, Patriots Steelers. I think the Patriots will win this, getting their first game of first win of the season. Mac Jones. I don't think he's that bad. I think he plays pretty well. Colts Jaguars. Colts have struggled in Jacksonville. Not this time. Matt Ryan may be a little help to the Colts. They're gonna beat the Jaguars, I think. Next game, Browns Jets. Browns don't have a great QB in Brissett, but their running game's good. Their defense is good. The Browns win this. Ravens Dolphins, another good game, but I think the Ravens, their defense is really good. The offense is good as well with Lamar Jackson at QB. Ravens win this. Texans Broncos. Broncos win just overall much better than the Texans. And Bills Titans. I don't think it's gonna be that close. I really like the Bills much more than the Titans for this one, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Bills are better. Raiders Cardinals. Still no DeAndre Hopkins for the Cardinals in this. I think the Raiders win this, getting their first win of the season. And Cowboys Bengals. I think this should be a pretty offensive game, but I think the Cowboys win this. Saints Buccaneers. Buccaneers haven't beaten the Saints in the regular season for a while. I think Jameis Winston plays pretty well against his old team. Saints win this. Panthers Giants next. Panthers. Baker Mayfield step up as QB for the team. Christian McCaffrey helping out as well. They're better than the Giants, I think. Washington against Detroit. I think Washington wins this time. I think their defense plays pretty well. Detroit doesn't play as well as they did last week. Rams Falcons. Rams should get their first win this game. I think they should easily beat the Falcons. Niners Seahawks. Niners. Again with Geno Smith the QB. I don't think the Seahawks are really that good at all. Niners win this. Packers rebound against the Bears. I think the offense plays much better. The receiving gets a little bit more in a groove. Then the Eagles Vikings. I'll take the Eagles. Bounce back after losing to the Lions in week 1. They had a great offense. They had a great offseason. The Eagles win this. Okay, so let's move on to week 3 now. First game, Steelers Browns. I'll say Steelers. I'll say this is a defensive game. Steelers defense wins it. Titans Raiders. I'll say the Titans win. I think Derrick Henry is gonna have a pretty good game. Patriots Ravens. I like Mac Jones and the Patriots. The defense isn't bad either. I think the Patriots win this. Bengals Jets. I like the Bengals in this. Chiefs Colts. I'll say Chiefs. And Bills Dolphins. I'll go Bills. Chargers Jaguars. I'll say Chargers. Bears Texans. Two bad teams, but I think the Bears offense should play a little better against a bad Texans defense. And the Bears defense isn't bad. They should play well against the Texans' bad offense. And Niners Broncos, another good game, but I'll say the Niners win. I like Trey Lance. Good pass catching duo with Deebo Samuel and George Kittle at tight end, and the defense is good, led by Warner and Bosa, are both stars. Let's go Vikings, Lions. Say Vikings. Eagles, Commanders. Let's go Eagles. Panthers, Saints. Let's go Panthers. They'll start 3-0 like last season. I think Baker Mayfield. He could have a pretty good season there. The defense isn't bad either. Christian McCaffrey, as long as he's healthy, he should be great. Yeah. And Seahawks, Falcons. I'll say Seahawks. I like the receiving duo of Lockett, Metcalf. That could help them win this game. I'll say Cardinals beat the Rams at home. Buccaneers, Packers. Say Tampa. And then Dallas beats the Giants. Okay, so moving on to week 4 now. First game, Bengals, Dolphins. The Bengals are a great team. Joe Burrow's a really good QB. Bengals are going to win this one, I think. Chargers are going to beat the Texans. In Indianapolis, Titans have been good there. I think they'll win this. Bills, Ravens, I'll say Bills again. And I'll say the Jets get their first win the season against the Steelers. As long as Zach Wilson's back, I think he's pretty good. He could help the Jets get a win. They had a good draft, getting Garrett Wilson at receiver, and Sauce Gardner as a cornerback. I think the Jets, they could win a few games this year. Raiders beat the Broncos, I think. But both those teams are good, but I'd say the Raiders win this one. And I'll say the Falcons beat the Browns. No Watson for the Browns. Marcus Mariota gets his first win of the season for Atlanta. Eagles beat Jaguars. Packers beat Patriots at home. And then rematch of Super Bowl 55 Buccaneers. They're going to beat the Chiefs again, I think. Tom Brady plays really well again. Saints are going to beat the Vikings. Cowboys beat Washington. I'll say Lions beat the Seahawks. Lions aren't awful. I think that they should beat the Seahawks in this one. Giants beat the Bears. I think the Panthers will hand the Panthers their first loss, or the Cardinals hand the Panthers their first loss of the season. Then Monday Night Football. I'll say the Rams win in a way against the 49ers. That should be a pretty good game. Okay, moving along now to week 5. First game, Broncos, Colts. I'll say Broncos, Russell Wilson, and Broncos defense is good too. They play pretty well. Jets, Dolphins, I'll say Jets get another win. They should improve on last year after they were really bad. Bills beat the Steelers. Bills are great once again. I think the Jaguars beat the Texans. Jaguars aren't awful. The Texans are. I think the Jaguars win. I think the Browns can beat the Chargers. I think this is a game where the Browns defense could play well. Rushing game as well with Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think Bengals win this. Chiefs win against the Raiders at home. Patriots are going to beat the Lions. And I'll say Washington beats Tennessee. I think Chase Young, he could be back for this game. And I think the Commanders' defense should really step up, play much better than they did last year for this season. Packers beat the Giants. Vikings over the Bears. Saints are going to beat the Seahawks. Bucks are going to beat the Falcons. Niners beat the Panthers. Rams are going to beat the Cowboys. Cardinals beat the Eagles. I like Kyler Murray. I think he should have a pretty good year for Arizona. Let's move on to week 6 now. First game, Jaguars, Colts. I'll say Jaguars win this one. The Colts won in Jacksonville, but not going to win at home against Jacksonville. I think Trevor Lawrence has another pretty good game. And Matt Ryan, he's better than Carson Wentz, but I don't think by that much. Like, he's pretty old. I don't think he's that great. Browns, Patriots, I'll say for this. Bills, Chiefs. This is going to be another really good game, rematch of the great divisional playoff game last year. I think the Bills, they're just a great team. I think their defense could shut down the highly powerful Chiefs offense. The Bills' offense plays pretty well. I like the Chargers against the Broncos. Packers should beat the Jets. I think the Bengals will beat the Saints. Again, I really like the Bengals. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. I think the Giants could upset the Ravens here. And I'll pick another upset. Steelers beat the Buccaneers. I don't. Mitch Trubisky, I guess he could play okay for. He's not great, but maybe he could win a few games for the Steelers. Defense is good too. And I'll say Miami beats the Vikings. Bears, Washington. I say Washington wins this. Niners beat the Falcons. I say Seahawks could actually beat the Cardinals in this one. Rams over the Panthers. And I'll say Eagles beat the Cowboys. I really like the Eagles. They had a really good offseason, adding A.J. Brown, improvements to the defense. Jalen Hurts, he could have a pretty good year this year, too. Okay, so now we're going to move on to week 7. First game, Colts Titans. Good running back matchup. Jonathan Taylor versus Derrick Henry. I don't love either team's QB. I like the Colts Stevens a little better, so I'll take the Colts for this one, splitting the series with the Titans. I'll say Ravens beat the Browns. The Ravens receivers aren't great, but still not bad. Mark Andrews, good tight end. Anyway, Lamar Jackson's good. So is the defense for the Ravens. Raiders beat the Texans. Raiders, they also had a good offseason, good receiving duo. Broncos over the Jets. Dolphins over the Steelers. Bengals easily beat the Falcons. I think the Jaguars should beat the Giants. Jaguars, I've said this a lot, but I don't think they're that bad at all. Chargers beat the Seahawks. I think the Chiefs rematch of another Super Bowl 54. Chiefs win this one again. I really like Mahomes for this one. Patriots are going to beat the Bears. Cardinals against the Saints. I think this is the game DeAndre Hopkins is back. He should help the Cardinals win this. He and Kyler Murray could be a really good QB receiver duo this year. Cowboys should beat the Lions. I think Packers beat Washington, and the Bucks beat the Panthers. So the Panthers now 3-4 after starting 3-0. So it's week 8 now. Broncos are gonna beat the Jaguars. Patriots beat the Jets in New York. Titans should beat the Texans. Titans are much better. And I think the Browns could also beat the Bengals in this game. I'd say Ravens, they could upset Tampa away in this game. Saints beat the Raiders. Eagles beat the Steelers. Dolphins beat the Lions. I think Colts beat Washington. This should be a really good game. I think the Packers offense really steps up by now. Even without great receivers, they still have Aaron Rodgers. Bills also have a good offense. Both teams have great defenses as well. But I think overall, Bills, they have a better offense and defense. It should be close, but Bills win this one, even though I think that's going to be a really good game. Cowboys should beat the Bears. I think the Vikings will beat the Cardinals in this one. Panthers, they'll beat the Falcons, I think. Seahawks can beat the Giants. I think Drew Lock should probably start by then. I think Geno Smith, he's not going to play well. I think he should probably get benched. And I don't think Drew Lock's great, but I think he's better than Smith. He could play a little bit better than he has earlier in his career. And I'll say Rams beat the 49ers. So I guess Rams sweep the series against San Francisco this year. Okay, moving on to week 9 now. First game, Patriots Colts. This could be a pretty good game. I like Mac Jones over Matt Ryan in this. Patriots defense pretty good too. Patriots win this. Bills Jets. Bills. They're 8-0, but I think they're really good. Raiders beat the Jaguars. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they beat the Titans. Eagles. I think the Texans could actually win this game. First win of the season. I don't really like their team, but I think they're gonna have to win at one point. Maybe they could get this over the Eagles. I think the Bears could also upset the Dolphins. There's always upsets in the NFL. These could be two of them. Bengals beat the Panthers. I really like the Bengals. They're a really good team. Chargers Falcons. Chargers win. This could be a pretty good game. Ravens Saints. I think Lamar Jackson outplays Jameis Winston in this. Ravens defense outplays the Saints defense. Ravens win this. Packers Lions. I'll say Packers win this. I'll say Commanders beat the Vikings. Cardinals beat the Seahawks, and then Buccaneers Rams rematch of the divisional playoffs last year. I think the Buccaneers win this. Tom Brady plays pretty well for the Bucs. Let's move on to week 10 now. Broncos Titans. Broncos say they win this. Chiefs beat the Jaguars. Dolphins beat the Browns. And Colts Raiders. I think the Raiders win this. Again, I'm not a big fan of Matt Ryan. The Colts, they're not great. Giants beat the Texans. Saints beat the Steelers. Bills beat the Vikings. And so the Niners beat the Chargers. The Niners, I think they're a pretty good team. Chargers and Niners are both good. I think the Niners win this one, though. I think the Falcons beat the Panthers on the road. They'll split the season series. Like the Falcons, they're going to win a few games this year. Bears will win another one. They'll beat the Lions in this. I think the Bucks beat the Seahawks. Rams, Cardinals. I'll say the Rams for this. Packers, Cowboys. I like the Packers in this one. Um, and Eagles, Washington. Eagles win this. Week 11 now. I think the Jets could beat the Patriots. The Jets, they could win a few games this year. They should be better than last year. I think they could win this one. Bills get another win. They'll beat the Browns. At home, I think the Broncos beat the Raiders. Chiefs, Chargers. Chargers won the first one. I think the Chiefs will win this one. They'll split the season series. Pretty good game, though. I think the Steelers could beat the Bengals. Well, it doesn't matter who's playing QB if Kenny Pickett overtakes Mitch Trubisky at this time. I think they're both okay. The Steelers, the defense isn't bad either. Packers should beat the Titans. I'll say Washington beats Houston. I think the Colts could beat the Eagles. Ravens beat the Panthers. Saints, Rams, I like the Saints for this one. I think the Saints are a pretty good team. I really like their defense. Jameis Winston could have a big year. Alvin Kamara is good. The receiver group is also good, especially if Michael Thomas plays really well. And I think he probably will. So I'd say Saints could beat the Rams here. Lions, Giants, I'll say Lions win it. Falcons could beat the Bears. I'll say Vikings beat the Cowboys. The Vikings aren't that bad. I don't think the Cowboys are great either. They're 5-5. Yeah, I think that's probably what they should be. They're good, but they're okay. Say Arizona beats San Francisco. Moving on to Week 12 now. Titans, Bengals. I'll say Titans for this. Dolphins against the Texans. I think the Jaguars, they could beat the Ravens. They could be pretty good this year. They could be okay. Colts beat the Steelers. Bills beat the Lions. They're now 11-0. The Bills, they're really good. Lions aren't going to beat them, I don't think. Vikings, I think, could beat the Patriots. I think the Jets could get another win. They should beat the Bears in this. I think Panthers could beat Denver. Like, the Panthers, I don't think they're awful. Baker Mayfield, he should be a step up from any other QB they've had. I think Bucks winning over the Browns. Raiders beat the Seahawks. Then moving down, Cardinals, Chargers. I'd say Arizona wins this. I think Kyler Murray is a good QB, and especially with DeAndre Hopkins, I think the offense should really play well for the Cardinals. Chiefs, Rams. This should be a good game, but I think I'm going to take the Chiefs. Cowboys, Giants. Let's go Dallas. Washington beats Atlanta. Say San Francisco beats the Saints. And I think the Eagles could beat the Packers in this one. The Eagles, they're a pretty good team. They should win this. So Week 13 now, starting it off with the Bills against the Patriots. I'll say the Patriots hand the Bills their first loss of the season this year. Patriots are pretty good too. The defense is pretty good. Mac Jones is a pretty good QB. I think the Bills, they have to lose one at one point. They'll lose this to the Patriots. Browns, Texans, I think Deshaun Watson's back for this one against his old team. He could really help the Browns offense with a big win in this one. Ravens, Broncos, I'll say Ravens for this. Raiders beat the Chargers, so they split the series. That could be a pretty good game. Bengals, Chiefs, another really good game. I'd say Bengals win this. That could be a pretty high-scoring game, and I think the Bengals, they could outscore the Chiefs in this. Jets, Vikings, I'll say Jets get another win. Zach Wilson, he should play much better than he did last year. So it should just the Jets as a whole. And I think they'll beat the Vikings in this game. Jaguars, I think they beat the Lions. They're now 6-6, which it's not bad at all. I think the Jaguars, they have a chance to to be much better than they've been in the past this year. I think they should win this one against the Lions. I really like Trevor Lawrence. He should be a pretty good QB for this Jaguars team. Steelers, Falcons, Steelers for this. Eagles, Titans. A.J. Brown against his old team. He should have a pretty big game helping the Eagles beat the Titans. Say Niners beat the Dolphins and Cowboys beat the Colts. Packers, Bears. I'll say Packers win this. Giants beat the Commanders. Rams beat the Seahawks. And Saints, Buccaneers. Do the Buccaneers win against the Saints in the regular season? No, they don't. Jameis Winston has another good game against his old team. Saints beat the Buccaneers. Week 14 now. Titans, Jaguars. I'll say Titans win this one. Bills, Jets. Bills win. Browns, Bengals. Browns with Deshaun Watson now. Browns, I think they win this. Browns are a pretty good team, especially with a good QB, Watson. Assuming he plays like he did in 2020 with the Texans, he should be pretty good for this team. I think the Steelers' defense could play pretty well against the Ravens in this game. The offense isn't bad either. Steelers, I think, beat the Ravens. Chargers beat the Dolphins, and I think the Broncos could beat the Chiefs in this one. Uh, Broncos are also a pretty good team. I think Rams beat the Raiders. Cardinals. Cowboys beat the Texans, and now Cardinals beat the Patriots. Vikings beat the Lions. I think Eagles beat the Giants. This could be a pretty good game. Buccaneers, 49ers. I'll say Bucks for this. And Seahawks, Panthers. I'll say Seahawks win that. Week 15 now. Browns, Ravens. I say Browns get the win. Watson's big comeback for them. And the Browns, they're getting a little bit better. 6-8, maybe a chance at the playoffs. We'll see. Bills, Dolphins. I'll say Bills for this one. Chiefs, Texans, Chiefs. Titans, Chargers. Let's go Chargers. I really think Justin Herbert, he could have a really great year. He's already played great in his NFL career. I think this year he could play even better. The defense also really improved for the Chargers in the offseason. They're a really good team. Raiders beat the Patriots. Colts, Vikings. I'll say Colts for this. I think Panthers beat the Steelers. I think the Jaguars could beat the Cowboys. I'll say Jets win against the Lions. Broncos against the Cardinals. Buccaneers, Bengals. This is a good game. I'll say Bengals. Tom Brady beats Joe Burrow. Buccaneers defense could probably play pretty well in that one. I think the Seahawks, they could beat the 49ers in this one. I'll say Seahawks win. Saints, Falcons. Let's go with the Saints. Washington beats the Giants in this. I think the Bears could get an upset against the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a good team, but I think some bad teams, they could probably beat the Eagles, upset them in a few games. This could be one of them where the Bears win. Packers, Rams. I'll say Rams. All right, now moving on to Week 16. Jaguars, Jets. I'll say Jaguars for this. I think they're a better team than the Jets. Titans beat the Texans. Bengals beat the Patriots. I think the Steelers could beat the Ravens for this one. And I'll say Colts could beat the Chargers in this one. We'll move on now. Bills, Bears. Let's go Bills. Let's go Chiefs against the Seahawks. Ravens over the Falcons. Browns over the Saints. I think Dolphins over the Packers. This could be one the Dolphins win. And Rams, they beat the Broncos for this. Vikings, Giants. Let's go Vikings. Panthers over the Lions. 49ers over the Commanders. Eagles, Cowboys, big NFC East matchup. Cowboys win at home. And I'll say Cardinals over the Buccaneers. So a lot of home team wins in this week. Cardinals win this one against Tampa. Week 17 now. Chiefs, Broncos. I'll go with the Chiefs for this. Jaguars beat the Texans. Jaguars, they're a much better team, I think, than the Texans. Ravens, Steelers. Let's go Ravens. And let's go Dolphins against the Patriots. Bills, Bengals. I think the Bengals, they'll beat the Bills in this one. Bills, they'll lose 2 games now. They're really good, but I think the Bengals, they could win in this game. Titans beat the Cowboys. Say Washington beats the Browns. This could be a big win, especially by the defense. I really think it's going to rebound from previous years. And now, Giants, Colts. I think the Giants could win this one. Upset the Colts. And now, Raiders, 49ers. Let's go Raiders. I think the Seahawks beat the Jets at home. In the Battle of L.A., Rams, Chargers. This is a good game. I'll say Chargers. I've said this before, but I really like Justin Herbert this season. He could have a great year. Buccaneers beat the Panthers. Cardinals over the Falcons. Lions beat the Bears at home. Saints, Eagles. This could be another good game. I'll say the Saints win this. Both teams are good, though. And then Packers, Vikings. Packers win. Okay, now moving on to the last week of the regular season. Week 18. First game, Chiefs, Raiders. Chiefs trying to win the AFC West. I think the Raiders beat them at home. Raiders are also a good team. I think they could possibly spoil the Chiefs' chances at winning the division. Chargers beat the Broncos, I think. And I guess, that wins the division for the Chargers. So Chargers win the AFC South. I don't think that's too unlikely. They're a really good team. Browns, Steelers. I'll say Steelers win this. Titans, Jaguars, game for the AFC South. I'll go with the Jaguars. Jaguars winning the AFC South. That sounds pretty crazy. But honestly, Trevor Lawrence, I think he's really good. The running back duo is pretty good too. Christian Kirk, Marvin Jones, not a bad receiving duo. It's not great, but I don't think it's awful. They could step up. Then Trayvon Walker, the first overall pick, he could have a pretty nice season. And the other teams in the division, they're not great. So Jaguars winning the AFC South, it's unlikely. But no one expected the Bengals to win the AFC North last year. They went all the way to the Super Bowl. Anything is possible. This is very unlikely, but it could happen. So Jaguars win the AFC South. That's my prediction. Bengals, Ravens. This is another game for the division. Winner wins the AFC North. Bengals win. They're a better team than the Ravens, I think. Yeah, so let's say they win this game. Bills, Patriots. The Bills have already clinched the 1 seed. I don't think they're going to start many of their starters. So let's say Patriots win this. Colts beat the Texans, and Dolphins beat the Jets. So now the AFC playoff picture. Bills are the 1 seed. Chargers 2. Bengals 3. Jaguars 4. Then the all wildcard teams are from the West. So Chiefs 5. Raiders 6. And Broncos 7. So that's the AFC playoff picture. Jaguars winning the division sounds crazy, but anything's possible. I think it's going to happen. Niners, Cardinals. I'll say Niners win this one at home in the last week of the season. Rams looking for the division win against the Seahawks. I think they win it. Packers, they've already clinched the division. I don't think they can get the 1 seed, so I think they'd rest their starters in this one. And if they're not going to play their main guys, say Lions win. But that's only if the Packers don't play their starters, which I don't think they will if this scenario happens. Vikings beat the Bears. Saints beat the Panthers, I think. Eagles looking to clinch the NFC East. I think they win it by beating the Giants. And Cowboys, Commanders. I think Washington could win this. Cowboys missing the playoffs. Washington I don't think their team is that bad. Carson Wentz, he's a step up from other QBs they've had in the past. I don't think he's great, but Terry McLaurin's a good receiver. I like the defense as well. Then Buccaneers, Falcons. Buccaneers, if they win, they get the 1 seed. All right, let's go with a huge upset. Falcons win this. Anything's possible, and that would be actually funny seeing the Buccaneers choke the division to the Falcons. Tom Brady chokes against the Falcons just like the Falcons did in Super Bowl 51 against Brady and the Patriots. Anything's possible. The Falcons looking to play spoiler here after having a bad season. Kyle Pitts, he had a great year at tight end. He could play well again. They have Cordero Patterson, Drake London. He could play well, and I don't know. Anything's possible. This is unlikely, but there's always upsets. So that would be crazy if the Falcons beat the Buccaneers, but anything's possible. I'll say the Falcons do it. So Saints get the 1 seed. That's pretty unlikely, but I like their team. They have a pretty good team. Jameis Winston, I think he could have a good year at QB. Michael Thomas returning really helps out the offense. And he also has Chris Olave and Jarvis Landry, two other pretty good receivers. Olave, of course, the rookie. And Alvin Kamara as well. A great defense. Cameron Jordan signing Tyrann Mathieu. Saints winning the 1 seed in the NFC. Unlikely, but it's possible. And according to my predictions, they'll do it. So Saints 1 seed, Rams 2, Eagles 3, Packers 4, 5 Buccaneers after choking the division, the Falcons. That would be really funny. Cardinals 6 and Niners 7. All right, so that is the end of Week 18, which means the end of the regular season and the start of the playoffs. So it is time for the first round of the playoffs. First game, Chiefs-Jaguars. So if my predictions are true, the Jaguars would have surprised a lot of people by making the playoffs. But they're not going to surprise people more in the playoffs. They're going to lose in the first round. The Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, there's a much better team, much more experience. I don't think Trevor Lawrence plays as well as in this game. And the Chiefs, their offense is really great. Started with Patrick Mahomes, one of the best QBs in football, and a good supporting cast around him, even without Tyreek Hill. Still a really good group of people to throw the ball to. Chiefs win, move on to the next round. Okay, Bengals-Raiders. That is a rematch of the first round matchup last year. And I like Joe Burrow more than Derek Carr. Devontae Adams is probably the best receiver in this game, but I like the Bengals receiving group more than the Raiders. I also like the Bengals defense more than the Raiders. Neither defense is great. I think this has the potential to be a pretty high-scoring game, but I think the Bengals are going to win, move on to the next round. Last AFC first-round matchup, an AFC West matchup, Chargers against the Broncos. I think the Chargers are a better team. I think Justin Herbert, he's going to have a great year. He's going to play better than Russell Wilson. And overall, the Chargers roster, I think, is better than the Broncos. I really like their defense. And I think the Chargers defense is going to play pretty well. So will the offense. This probably won't be as much of a high-scoring game as Bengals-Raiders because both teams have pretty good defenses. But I like the Chargers' overall team better. Chargers win this one, move on to the next round of the playoffs. Now to the NFC, Buccaneers-Packers. At Lambeau, Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady. This should be another pretty good game, but I think the Bucs are going to win. Tom Brady, this could probably be his last year, especially after losing the 1 seed. He's going to really, really try and play his hardest in the playoffs, and yeah, I think he's going to play really well. He's a really good duo of receivers with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. The team has a great defense. So does the Packers, but I think Tom Brady outplays Aaron Rodgers in this game. Buccaneers move on to the next round. Cardinals, Eagles. Jalen Hurts against Kyler Murray. I really like Kyler Murray. I think he's a really good quarterback, better than Jalen Hurts. And DeAndre Hopkins, once he comes back, he should be one of the league's top receivers, I think. The Cardinals defense isn't great, but I think they're just going to outscore the Eagles in this one. Play pretty well, and I think the Cardinals are going to win. So they'll win a playoff game, move on to the next round. And then the last NFC first round matchup, Rams 49ers. This should be another good game, rematch of the NFC Championship last year. But I don't think the 49ers are going to win this. I think it's going to be the Rams. I like the Rams offense better than the Niners, with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp leading it. And the Rams defense, both teams have really good defenses. I don't know, they're pretty close, but I think the Rams offense is the difference in this game. They beat the 49ers. Probably a more of a low-scoring game, but the Rams win. All right, now let's move on to the next round of the playoffs, the divisional round. First game, Chargers-Bengals. I think this could be a really good game. Both teams have great offenses and great young QBs with Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. I really like both of their offenses, but I think that means that the game will come down to whoever has the best defense, maybe whoever can get a stop at the end of the game. And I think the Chargers, they have the better defense, and I think that makes a difference in this one. Chargers win, move on to the AFC Championship. And then Chiefs-Bills, a rematch of a great divisional game last year. They played an amazing game in the playoffs. This time it's in Buffalo, and I think Buffalo's ready for the Chiefs this time. Their defense is really good. The Chiefs have a great offense, but I think the Bills' defense is good enough to stop it from scoring a wild amount of points. And meanwhile, the Bills' offense is also really good. Chiefs' defense isn't as great as the Bills'. I think the Bills are going to be able to score more, prevent the Chiefs from scoring as much as they do. I think the Bills will win. They finally beat the Chiefs, and they move on to the AFC Championship game. So now the NFC, Buccaneers-Rams, another divisional round rematch from last year. They also played a good game where the Rams were up by a lot. Buccaneers came back, but the Rams eventually scored the game-winning field goal to move on to the next round. Tom Brady, I think he's going to outplay Matthew Stafford in this one, and I think that makes the difference in the game. And I think the Buccaneers, they also have a little bit of a deeper offense than the Rams. Rams maybe have the better defense, but I think Tom Brady, he's the big reason why the Bucs win this one and move on to the NFC Championship game. Then the last NFC divisional round matchup, Saints-Cardinals. Saints were the 1 seed, and that happened after the Buccaneers lost the final game to the Falcons in the regular season. But Saints against the Cardinals. Cardinals, I really like their offense with Murray and Hopkins leading it. And they also have a group of other good receivers with Marquise Hollywood-Brown, and also AJ Green, not AJ Brown, he's on the Eagles. AJ Green on the Cardinals. And the Saints, they have a good defense, but I like the Cardinals' offense a lot. I think they're going to play really well in this one. And the Saints, Jameis Winston, I think he's going to have a pretty good year, but he doesn't really have much playoff experience. I don't think he's going to have a great game in this one. I think the Cardinals win. They move all the way to the NFC Championship game. So now, conference championships, Bills, Chargers, Buccaneers, Cardinals. Cardinals trying to host the Super Bowl. But we'll start in the AFC. Bills, Chargers. I think this should be another great game, but I think the Bills overall, they're an amazingly balanced team. Great offense, great defense. The Chargers also have a great offense and a pretty good defense, but the Bills' defense is better. I think the Bills also have the better offense. This should be a pretty good game. Josh Allen against Justin Herbert, two great QBs. But I think Josh Allen wins this. The Bills' defense plays better, and the Bills move on to the Super Bowl. And now the NFC Championship game. If the Cardinals win, they'll be the third team in a row to host a Super Bowl. I don't think that's going to happen. Tom Brady, he moves all the way to the Super Bowl in what could be his last year. I just think he outplays Kyler Murray in this one. The Buccaneers' defense is also much better than the Cardinals' defense. I think that could also be a big reason why the Bucs win this one. And overall, I just think the Bucs offense, even though the Cardinals is good too, I think Tom Brady, he shows why he's the GOAT, beats Kyler Murray, and the Bucs move on to the Super Bowl. Let's move on to Super Bowl 57, Buccaneers versus the Bills, Tom Brady versus Josh Allen, a great QB matchup. And overall, both these teams are great on offense and defense. I don't think it's going to be a very offensive or defensive game, probably right in the middle. Maybe both teams score in the 20s for points. And yeah, this should be a really good game. Tom Brady, one of the best QBs in the league for a while, against Josh Allen. Pretty young, but he's also great too. And it should be a great game. But in the end, Tom Brady, I think he shows why he's the GOAT. He wins his 8th Super Bowl ring. The Buccaneers beat the Bills. I think while the Bills' defense is great, Tom Brady's the best player in the league. And I think he shows that with his 8th Super Bowl win in this game. So Buccaneers win the Super Bowl. And I think Tom Brady, after winning his 8th Super Bowl, retires after this. And the Bills, they even though they don't win this one, they still have a great future, especially with Josh Allen leading it as QB. But Bucks win the Super Bowl, and that is it for these predictions. So thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more videos in the near future. But that's it for this one, and I will see you in the next one.